So a little trick. This is a really good one. This is a good trick, particularly when we're dealing with Karens. So see, there's like dirt on the leaf top. Now you don't want to touch the underside of leaves with wet hands or with dirt. Usually it's going to be a problem. So that's just something always. A lot of people don't know that, but the thing is here is this I'm tending. Now I would ideally like to leave leaf mulch in there, pretty good leaf mulch in there, to have everything growing well. Like it would look a lot messier right now, and the plants would be smaller, and they'd be underneath the leaves a lot. But what happens is suddenly they explode, and at about the same speed that the plants are taking over, the leaves break down, and it becomes a supercharged garden. Like in 1 year, that's how you supercharge a garden and make it actually a real garden. But because there's garden Karens, you can't really garden. It's very difficult. This is the best I can do with the garden Karens. So I had to take the leaves out, because otherwise they would have done this to it. And see, this is nothing, everything's dead. This was all stuff in here. Every plant that we wanted to keep was in here. They pulled it out, and yeah, it's just going to be a headache. But another thing, like instead of doing what they're doing, we should have left the beneficials that grew all winter. Essentially, most things that grow all winter are going to be good. Most things. It's just a rule of thumb. If it grows over the winter, it's going to be good. Mostly. Like these, not necessarily. That's a different story. But these are the ones that are problematic. Now, it's not a problem to an actual gardener, because right now, the way it is, these are annuals, a whole bunch of goosegrass, a whole bunch of herb mercury. You just take a little rake and just rake it real quick, real fast. It'll take about 10 seconds to do this big area. But what's they did is they left it all season and never touched, never pulled one weed the whole season. And then it becomes, it already dropped seed like 5 times, okay? So then the seed, they once in about 3 weeks, these will be starting to drop seeds already. So you definitely want to get it before that, but they just ignoring them, and they're just spreading, filling the seed bank with seeds. And if you're actually gardening, you don't do what they did, which is, they had this, they just keep, every time they come, they just make things worse. That's what they do. And they just rake this all up for no reason. And they brought up all the weeds that they keep. It's all weeds. It's all weeds because they're doing that. That's what they do. They're constantly making much more work. These are really, really bad smartweed that has roots that are perennial, and it starts dropping seeds in about 2 weeks from now. 2-3 weeks, it's going to be dropping seeds already. Spreads and spreads and spreads, and the roots spread. And once they get, by the time of August rolls around, or September, or July, or July, they're so well rooted you can't even pull them out. You have to really dig. It's like the garden's been destroyed by completely incompetent people who have no ability to ever get past being an evil person. They're capped out. And you got to realize that's what's going on in our countries, like healthcare and education. It's being run essentially by the communists, who are void entities. They're just like magnetically charged to evil. But back to my original point, this shouldn't have any yellowing to it, and mine is not doing so bad. Like if you look at these sunflowers, it's not ideal. If they had the leaf coverage on there, these would not be yellowing at all. They'd be really, they would explode. They would be so big and so quick. It'll be the biggest biggest sunflowers in the city, easily. It's very easy. That's how you'd want to have them done. Here, they're under stress because the Karens have to have it their way. But a trick, a good one, most people wouldn't be familiar with it, is you coat the leaves with soil. So you take some soil and you cover it. See, this kind of happened accidentally, but I'm not going to brush it. As long as it's on the top, it's not a problem. And particularly if it's going to be yellowing like this in the hot heat and the sun, it's going to protect them. They're going to be better off. And see, what happens is when the plants have more roots established, they can take more direct sun. But in early season, they're not quite ready for that. And so that's why you don't want to strip the leaves. You want, protect it and creep into its healthiness. And this is essentially a first-year garden. But it's coming along. I have a good array. It's got a lot of trigger plants in there, but it's, you know, it ought not be triggering. So we have, yeah, it's gonna look cool. I think I just put these guys right here. That was a henbane. That's a vervain. That's a bone set. And there's a mint. See, a mint's a triggering plant. Like, oh my goodness, but there, it can't really be a garden without mint. See, the Karens aren't actually human beings. So in a Karen's brain, the mint is like almost like Monsanto, but a mint isn't Monsanto. The Karen is Monsanto, and it's certainly like, it's like dill. Dill's another one. Like, they think it's a troublesome plant. It can never be a troublesome plant, because the thing is that dill grows without taking any nutrients from anything. It doesn't. It will never smother anything. You can't smother anything with dill. It's an annual, and it's so useful in the kitchen, in the environment. It's completely useful. But see, the Karens are like, oh my God, and we certainly said never let it seed. No, you definitely want the dill to just keep growing. Anywhere it'll grow, it'll be great. It doesn't take nutrients away from any other plant. So the Karen is what's toxic, purely toxic in the earth. It's like their families growing in the earth in America is murdering people without cause. In America, we should just be like decent human beings, but Karens are not decent human beings. And that's the important thing to recognize.